Over the past few videos, I've been showcasing some things that I liked about Windows 7, but I never really got a chance to talk about them. I've only had it for a few days, but so far, I would say it is definitely worth the upgrade over Vista. Windows 7 is, or at least it looks like it's going to be, provided they don't screw it up, what Vista should have been. You still get all the familiarity of Vista, so for those of you who have Vista already, upgrading to 7 won't be a big deal, provided you manage to find compatible devices. 7 runs under the same kernel as Vista. What I liked was the fact that JAWS worked out of the box and was quick on its feet. Windows 7 handles JAWS really, really nicely. It handles all the applications I can throw at it. The only application that gave me a blue screen of death so far was this AMG antivirus. Now, the one thing I'm curious about is because I'm running it in a virtual machine where the Macintosh, which is a Unix-based operating system, is the host, I'm wondering if I even need antivirus to begin with for Windows. Now, obviously, Windows is going to say, yes, I do, because it thinks it's running on an actual hardware platform and not a virtual machine. But like I said, I like it a lot. I still haven't found stickies, sticky notes. I'm still looking for those. If somebody could point me to them so I could try them out. But so far, with the exception of that AVG antivirus and a couple of screen magnifiers, Windows 7 seems to be handling everything I can throw at it without any problems. Now, the screen magnifiers, that had to do with a graphics card issue. But the AVG antivirus, why that gave me a blue screen of death, I'll never know. But remember that Windows 7 still is in beta, and I'm still looking through it. I'm doing it piece by piece because obviously my schoolwork comes first. But what time I have to play with it, I am playing with it, and I'm especially running JAWS through it. And so far, JAWS, with the exception of the taskbar that's going to require some scripting, doesn't seem to be having any issues with Windows 7. Do I think Windows 7 is going to be worth it? I do. Another thing that I like about Windows 7 is that it's fast. It's a lot faster than Vista. And what's interesting is, this is because it doesn't come with anything. Now, it comes with your basics, but it does not come with things like, at least I'm told it's not going to come with anything like Outlook or anything. I haven't been able to find Outlook on there, which is fine with me because I don't use it anyway. But not coming with anything, I see it as a plus, because if you're somebody who just uses the computer for email and internet, you don't need any of the extra stuff that Windows used to come with, like all that third-party stuff that the vendors put on, which, to be honest, they might still do that. The reason why Windows 7 is so light, and Vista probably at the same time, though I think 7 does a better job of this, has to do with the fact that if you order it completely out of the box brand new without any pre-installation, so in other words, if you get a computer and you put 7 on it externally, you buy 7 as a separate package, you won't get any bloatware. And I think the bulk of the bloatware comes from the third-party manufacturers, because Dell, HP, Sony especially. Sony is the king of bloatware from what I've seen. In fact, let me show you. I'm not going to power it up, but I will say this. This little thing, brand new out of the box. This thing came with so much bloatware, it was ridiculous. It took me at least, I don't know, 2 hours to remove it. That's one of the, like I said, that's one of the pluses I'm seeing about Windows 7 is that it's not as bloated And the reason is because it doesn't come with anything to weigh it down. Windows 7 handles Firefox very nicely. So does JAWS 10. So it handles Firefox, it handles all the standard applications. It recognized my thumb drive without any issues at all. It's just been, so far, it's been a wonderful experience, with the exception of that one application, the AVG antivirus. And the issues with JAWS have to do with the screen reader. They have nothing to do with Windows 7. And, so yeah, for those of you who have not tried it, I would recommend that you take a look at it, see what you think. One little precaution I should give you, though, is that, and this goes for any beta software, particularly the operating system, you do not want to install it on a system where you have data that you cannot afford to lose, because, you know, beta means that it's still in testing, which means that if something goes wrong, your data is lost forever. Now, obviously, that's true with any operating system, but it can be especially true on a beta, because in some instances, while it's stable all around, there may be some rough edges that still need to be worked out. So just as a general rule, if you want to do a beta test, be sure you know what you're doing. Be sure there's no data that you absolutely have to keep. If there is, I would recommend installing it on a virtual machine. I'm running Windows 7 through VMware Fusion. And one of the pluses to that is I'm able to use the Macintosh magnifier, which is good because I haven't been able to get any of the magnifiers to work successfully on Windows 7 so far. Even Microsoft's own magnifier, the cursor disappears, which makes it really hard to navigate. Magic from Freedom Scientific won't launch at all because of some graphics card issues. And ZoomText will launch, but it's really interesting what happens. It magnifies, but it's like it doesn't want to move. You move the cursor above the start button, and you get a whole pile of start buttons following the direction of the cursor. So if you have it going straight up, you have a whole pile of start buttons going straight up. And because of this, excuse me, and some button misalignment because of the magnification, ZoomText is a real pain in the neck to use with the integrated graphics chip on my Mac. That might be an issue with VMware Fusion, though. But overall, I'm still exploring, and I'll still be continuing to put up videos. Windows 7 is definitely worth the wait. If anybody still has XP and you want to upgrade to Vista, hold back, wait until October. That's the rumored Windows 7 release date, and give it a shot. If you want to, like I said, download the beta and see what you think. I like it a lot, and this is going to be a lot better than Vista, I can tell, because one of the big pet peeves of Vista was the fact that nothing worked. Windows 7 is still in beta, and everything works. There may be some software glitches, but again, like I said, still in beta means there's some kinks to work out. But it's the first public beta. Build 7000, as far as I know, is the first public beta, and everything works out of the box. JAWS works, and JAWS working out of the box with Windows 7, given the fact that it did not want to work with Windows Vista in the past, was a real surprise to me. It told me right off the bat, JAWS working out of the box with Windows 7 off the bat, told me that this was definitely going to be something good. So if you have an XP machine and you're looking at upgrading to Windows Vista, forget about it. Just wait until Windows 7. It'll definitely, from what I've seen so far, it's going to be a lot better on Windows 7 than Vista. Comments are welcome. Thank you for watching, and have a nice evening.